So for the first time in about 2 months, I booted up BattleBit Remastered this weekend, which is timely because it has also been about 2-ish months since the BattleBit developers dropped the Operation Overhaul teaser trailer, and once again, yeah, we have truly had a return to form, alright. A return to form of radio silence from the developers with no further news since then. Look guys, I've been someone that's been long hopeful that BattleBit will find its feet again, because deep down, I still believe that this game has a ton of potential. I believed that with the trailer dropping, I was like, sweet, the developers have finally got their act together and we are approaching the final steps in this long and extremely painful journey that we've all been through. But here we are, and might I just say folks, how crazy the change in the gaming industry can be in that time. Because between now and that trailer dropping, the Battlefield 6 reveal and open beta have come and gone to a relatively positive reception. And that has completely changed the complexion of BattleBit's space in the industry right now. So much so to the point where it kind of begs the question, has BattleBit missed its chance? When BattleBit Remastered dropped, guys, we were in the center of Battlefield 2042's post-release lifecycle, and the fans were furious. The franchise that they had long loved and cherished was transformed into some bastardized version of the Battlefield brand that they all loved. And at this point, the developers had spent the majority of the post-release cycle for Battlefield 2042 trying to fix the game and get it back up to a decent groundwork. I mean, let's be honest here, nothing could ever properly fix the groundwork that was laid there, but I digress. The way the Battlefield franchise was being treated at the time left a lot of players angry and hungry. Hungry for a competitor to come along and steal EA's thunder and provide a true Battlefield experience, and angry enough to, well, slam the door in EA's face while flipping them the bird on the way out. But then comes along this little old indie shooter, BattleBit Remastered, which does all of that and then some. It not only takes the quintessential classic Battlefield experience, but it kind of expands on it with new features, an increase in scale, and a graphical style that makes it easily accessible to more players as well. I tell you what though guys, those first few months where the vibes were good and the relationship with the developers was strong, that was magical. But now, the big dog in the industry has come back, and they are here to play. Battlefield 6 is not only looking, but is also feeling great, especially based on that time we had with it in the open beta, and some of the time that I've had with it in Battlefield Labs. It's feeling like a return to form for the franchise, as though DICE have had their little, expression session with Battlefield 2042, and have now gone, well, that was a bit crazy, huh? Let's reel it back in, lads, and get back to work on a good game here. And that is a scary prospect for BattleBit to face if it was, still getting regular updates and communicating with the community regularly. But in its current state, I fear that might be a death sentence. You see, folks, BattleBit's entire success was bred from one overarching theme, being a valid competitor to the Battlefield franchise, to bring competition to a space that holds the candle back to EA and says, if you won't, we will, And they were a massive hit from that. You don't crack 80,000 concurrent players in your opening month as, a little throwaway indie title. They actually found some pretty good success. And BattleBit's massive Operation Overhaul update is evidently themed, or aimed, should I say, at being the uplift that pushes the game towards being a fully fleshed, complete experience. If anything, folks, it almost feels like a bloody sequel at this point. And that is exciting to me. I want to see Operation Overhaul come out, and I want to see everything these developers have been working on. But in the process of us getting Operation Overhaul to this point, the developers have lost the one thing that keeps indie games alive when the big dogs, let alone a direct competitor, come to town. The goodwill with the community. With all the damage that's been done, and with the periods of total radio silence, a lot of people who were once keen on this game are just going to look at the history and go, well, why keep waiting on this turbulent game to get its act together when I can get frequent updates, good gameplay, and a communicative team over here instead? The role of BattleBit and its whole, if you won't, we will mantra has been completely flipped on its head in this weird twist of events here. Operation Overhaul, yes, might just be incredible at every corner, but your role of being valid and a serious competitor to a big player in town starts to get pretty ropey when your game goes for the better part of 2 years without a single update. And looking at Battlefield 6 and the way in which it's coming to town here, I'm actually struggling to see how BattleBit fits into the market on the basis of what has happened in the lead up to this point. Sure, it will continue to hold a small dedicated community of players who like the intricacies of the game, or who have low-end rigs and enjoy the low-poly graphics style, but the reason to stick around with the game has significantly dwindled with Battlefield on the horizon. I mean, I know people who are out there upgrading their gaming PCs exclusively for Battlefield 6. So the argument of being the market filler for low-end PCs is also dwindling as well because of the impact that Battlefield 6 is having on the market too. And unfortunately, even with the release of this update, I actually fear it might not be enough to bring a lot of BattleBit's community back, especially if DICE sticks the landing with Battlefield. And because of that, I truly believe that Battlefield might have just missed their last opportunity to really make something out of this game, and that is a true shame. I never wish for the death of a game here on the channel, guys. BattleBit's story is one that I love, especially given the troubles that this team went through in landing on their released product and the amount of redesigns the game went through to get to this point. If Battlefield 6 drops off a cliff and BattleBit once again comes in to save us from the realm of disappointing FPS releases, then I will sing its praises like no one else on this bloody platform. But I have to be somewhat logical here about this and admit that I really, truly see no other way for BattleBit to thrive in this new market that's being created here. And if I was a betting man, I would honestly bet against BattleBit lasting much longer beyond Operation Overhaul, with Battlefield 6 being successful. I mean, hell, had the developers had maintained good communications up until this point and gotten their update delivery sorted, there's a good chance I would have been more confident about BattleBit despite this position. You know, they would have built up some more community morale and some more community goodwill. But unfortunately, history is an indicator of future activity, and given that we are feeling that again here post-teaser trailer release, I'm struggling to keep my copium resources in full check here. In the utopian timeline where BattleBit continued pushing updates regularly and managed to foster a community through good communications with the developers, I would have loved to have seen a world where BattleBit and Battlefield continued as both incredibly solid games. But I guess that's not really the timeline that we're on here, guys. In this timeline, Battlefield 6 is either going to release strongly and completely suffocate the reason for BattleBit to really do well, even post-update, or Battlefield is going to fail and BattleBit will return to the update in a big way. I hope I'm proven wrong, but I don't like those chances right now. To make things abundantly clear, folks, that doesn't mean I'm not going to check out BattleBit Operation Overhaul when it launches. In fact, it's going to be one of the first things I do when the update drops, even post Battlefield 6 release. However, I did want to make this video as a bit of a, let's just say, tempering of expectations here, folks, because I do fear, truly, that BattleBit has probably waited a little too long to do what it needed to do here with Operation Overhaul. I think they may have very well missed their last opportunity to really get this update out and solidify themselves in the market before Battlefield 6 comes along and, quite frankly, strangles them out. But anyway, I'm done rambling for this one because I've been rambling for quite some time already. Let me know in the comment section down below, guys, what your thoughts are. Do you think BattleBit Remastered still has a chance here, or are we just about a foot out the door at this point? Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're keen on first-person shooter content. Obviously, BattleBit is the game you're watching here, but I'm going to be doing a ton of Battlefield 6 stuff in the near future. And also, come check out our Twitch stream, link in the description down below, and our Discord, which is also linked down below. It would be great to have some of you guys come join the community there as well. But until next time, folks, I will see you all in the next video. Peace out. See you guys then. Take care.